WOWO 1190 AM, 107.5 FM.
Today, I want to go to somebody who is very resourced and is a very good source. Pallavi Ahluwalia has been on our program before. She is an immigration attorney. She deals both with corporations and employees, individuals, and she understands. She is an immigrant herself, so she knows what this pathway is like. So let's go to somebody who not only deals with it, but has been there. Pallavi, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Pat Miller program. Hi there.
How are you, Pat? Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, so very good to have you with us. This whole idea where the president, and I'm stunned by this, we talked about this in the last half hour, I'm stunned by this, the president said, okay, I'm going to overcome some of these problems in our regulations at the border, and kids don't have to be separated from their parents anymore. We'll just keep them all together beyond the 20 days. And so now they're screaming about that he's being unfair just because we just won't release them willy-nilly into the country. The president really is trying to do the right thing here, isn't he?
Well, he's definitely trying to scrap court settlement, and this would allow for migrant families to be detained longer as their cases are being considered instead of having to release them in 20 days. So basically, no catch and release, but leave them out there. So the politics of it I'm not going to speak towards, because the conditions in which people are being held in the facilities are not ample to even hold the numbers that they have. So holding them beyond the 20 days just requires a lot more that needs to be done that would keep them at a level of humane conditions. So I mean, there are going to be politics on both sides of it. It does seem to be a good call in not separating families from the kids as they are being processed. So basically, where the parents are going to be held in custody when they release the kids after 20 days. So that won't happen, but you still are going to have concerns about other care that needs to be provided by the Flores agreement.
Yeah, and it's not inexpensive. And it's not easy for it's not easy for those in detention. I mean, that's not easy. But again, if somebody here, and maybe I'm misreading it, Pallavi, but if somebody here is genuinely seeking asylum, 40 days, 60 days in detention is not optimal, but it must be better than what it is that they're trying to leave if they're truly seeking asylum.
Right. So, but Pat, we also have to be aware of the conditions of these facilities right now. Honestly, people don't have a place to sit down, and maybe, we can, extrapolate and say this is better than the conditions from which they're running, but that's not the American system as we understand it. So they're in detention and they don't have, we had some hearings that went viral a little while back in which there was some requirement that said, why do we have to give these people toothbrushes and food, right? Why do these kids have to be provided with that? So basically, as long as there's some protections that are based on just keeping humane conditions and all of that, then it would make sense. The concern that happens on different sides is you can hold these kids beyond the 20 days, but what are the conditions that they're going to be held under? Right. And that's where I would approach it from. So if it is that you're not going to separate families, fine. You want to kind of make sure that all they qualify for the benefit that they're seeking at the border, fine. You hold them in, but under what conditions is, I don't think any American is going to sign up to say it's coming at a high cost, but not at adequate human conditions where you're holding people. We're not just reducing them to just numbers, right? They're still humans at the end of it.
Well, and that's the thing too, because it is such, and I'm a far right conservative, and I think we have to protect our borders, and I think we need to be careful who's coming in. At the same time, I am human. I do have, I hope, the love of God in me. And because of that, I don't want anybody, especially somebody like a child who's not really here of their own cognizance. You want the conditions to be everything that they can. So let me ask you, you deal with these people and others as an immigration attorney. In your view, because I've got to think that the fact that more walls are now going back up and we can stem the flow, that's got to help. But in dealing with the tens and hundreds of thousands that are here, what is the next best answer from your perspective on how it is we should deal with them?
So besides building a better infrastructure to just catch the stem of people or the flow of people that are coming in and to be able to provide adequate facilities. And we're looking at expenses. If you're looking at it from a standpoint of being conservative, then I think this is an expensive process. I think just more people there at the border, so you don't have that many illegal crossings that would protect us from the border. Of course, the border wall is going to go up for that. But when it comes to having people that are going through their hearings and holding them for that long, I think hiring a better infrastructure judicially and officer-wise internally to process those cases. So we have millions of cases that are backlogged right now. So we have other issues in resolving those claims. So if you can hire more people at the CBP level where, there are interviews that are going on. So basically keep the process moving faster, right? Okay, people who are not qualified and have to be put through the court procedures to fight the deportation and argue asylum at that point. At that point, maybe some, security things that can be put for these people where they're released and they have to stay within a certain area. They cannot remove them. They'll get arrested again. So I think some other measures that would be in place that would not be a costly way to run this, plus provide the infrastructure so that people who are coming in at the border, and especially the genuine cases, get heard properly and quickly enough.
See, and that's the thing, too. One of the fears that I have, Pallavi, is this. You're going to have some people that have a genuine claim to asylum. It's genuine and it's real. And their genuine claims sometimes, I think, will get lost in the shuffle because you have so many that are not virtuous claims that they're trying to make. And that's bad for us, and it's also bad for the people trying to seek legitimate asylum. Let me ask you this. You're in the legal system from the attorney side. Is there any benefit, because this wouldn't be cheap either, to actually create more immigration courts and get more judges down near the border? Would that be of any benefit?
I think that would be of tremendous benefit because we are anyway backlogged in our systems, and people who have come here and applied for asylum, they have years and years before they get a hearing in front of a judge. They keep on getting pushed back. It's a system that's not running efficiently, properly at this time, and I think everyone's, there was a time where we were saying that all judges are going to have quotas and they have to do that many cases. I don't think that's a fair way to look at it. You have to hire more people to be able to get the results.
Yep.
Because we've had record number of people that have showed up. They're all into deportation proceedings. They have been claiming asylum. They have to be first-level officers that are looking at their claims. They need to have some dates that are set up. So I don't think it should be holding people beyond the 20 days. That's an issue. It is what timelines do everyone internally have to follow, right? So setting up a process maybe for that. So saying, okay, after you detain someone and they're with you, then within 10 days you have your first, shot with an officer, and then at the second level that you have it in maybe 30 days. And that has to be set up with an efficient system which is inside as well.
Yeah.
But holding them in bad conditions is only going to get both sides into fights which are not going to be nice for the country, right? So we're going to have everyone screaming and up in arms, and it's not the right way to do it. So I think if we are wanting to stem the flow of people that are coming in, then the only way to be able to do that is, okay, you have a policy in place. Yes, we won't release you. You will keep you, but then what are the conditions under which they are being kept?
Right.
What is the hearing dates that you're setting up? When is the timelines on when they would be heard? So then there is an end to the whole timeline, right? It's not 20 days now. It's not even 60 days by this standard. It's not even 90 days. It could be 6 months, 8 months. That's a little concerning.
It's very concerning, especially if there's no end in sight, which is why it's
correct.
good.
So you have to put an end in sight.
Right.
Then this policy would be fair. Right? Then you say, okay, I'm going to hold you for 20 days, but no longer than 60.
But to get an end in sight,
you're in for 60 days.
Right, but to get to an end in sight, in my view, a couple things we have to do. We have to stem the flow. Somehow we have to shut the borders down, allow people that are coming through properly, and if they come through a port of entry and they want to seek asylum, you have to let them do that. But then I really think, Pallavi, that what we've got to do is we've got to get more judges down near the border and seeing more people regularly, so that it's not a 2-year wait until you're before a judge. That's insanity.
Correct, then you also have to understand the taxpayers are paying for holding those people in whatever condition. Firstly, the condition shouldn't be poor or as dismal as they've been right now. Okay, and no, that's not okay for people to just be standing up and not being able to even sit in the holding areas where they're being held is not okay. Okay, so now, okay, we allow for some space, but that takes cost too, right? So we're running it up high in cost, so there has to be a right balance here. And I don't know what that balance would be, but yes, I agree that the number of people that are coming in, and I think it's the smugglers that have done that. They've been telling people, yes, they're in bad conditions economically, maybe even, they're at the mercy of all these gangs that are running around in those countries that they're coming from. I'm talking about the Central American nations. And if they are being brought in saying, okay, hurry out of here, something is going to close down, and that's why they are showing up in droves, maybe that's the reason.
Yeah.
But at this time, all there has to be something that's collectively done, because the moment you kind of put it in one direction, then everyone runs towards that direction saying, no, that's wrong. And then it's going to be enjoined. There's going to be injunctions. It's going to have some other things that's going to follow through. So I think some moderation in both sides would maybe get this to get resolved.
Well, I think there's going to have to be a session of listening, genuine learning, and then really trying to come with some kind of resolution to the problem. Pallavi, thank you so much. Pallavi Ahluwalia is an immigration attorney. She sees this stuff firsthand. She herself an immigrant, so she knows what it means to come to this country and to do it a proper way and to have it work for her. And now she really desires for those that are coming for right reasons to have it happen for them. For your time today, here's what we're going to do, Pallavi. I'm going to have my producer, Caleb, put this interview up on our website and have a link to your site so people can follow some of the things that you find and some of the articles and things that you might do, so that way we can keep in touch with what happens with you. For your time today, thank you so very much for being with us.
I look forward to being back again.
We look forward to it. Thank you very much. Pallavi Ahluwalia, and we will have her back.